A very pleasant greeting to the 10th edition of the UNESCO Chair Lecture Series on IoT and Healthcare for the Elderly. I, Mrs. Soma Mitra, Registrar IIMT Bhubaneswar and Coordinator for UNESCO Chair Lecture Series, welcome all eminent speakers, guests, and participants to this podium. Today, we are fortunate to have with us Professor Andrew, Senior Research Fellow, the Hong Kong Polytechnic University and Professor Emeritus and Adjunct Professor of Mechanical Engineering, University of Saskatchewan, Dr. Woo Chu Hoo Chak, Associate Professor SCM, BMSIM Program Director, and Associate Head of Cloud Innovation School, the Hang Seng University of Hong Kong, Professor Srikant Patnaik, Chairman IIMT and UNESCO Chair Lecturer at National University of La Plata, and Dr. Pramod Kumar Prushti, Principal IIMT Bhubaneswar with us. We are very much fortunate that today we have even got Professor Francisco Vigliarolo, Director and UNESCO Chair, Professor, National University of La Plata. It's an honor for us that we have Professor Francisco Vigliarolo, Director and UNESCO Chair, Professor, National University of La Plata, Argentina, with us. Now, let me take you on a tour of this 10th edition of UNESCO Chair Lecture Series on IoT and Healthcare for Elderly, where we will explore how IoT, big data, analytics, and artificial intelligence technologies are starting to be widely used for delivering more and more accurate, responsive healthcare services to the elderly. We will start the session with the introduction of guests and speakers, followed by a quick tour of IIMT Bhubaneswar, where participants will gain an insight into the institution's innovative programs and state-of-art facilities by Dr. Pramod Kumar Prushti, Principal IIMT Bhubaneswar. Then we will have an introductory remark by Honorary Professor Francisco Vigliarolo, followed by a talk on IoT and healthcare for the elderly by the eminent speakers, Professor Andrew W.H. Ip and Dr. Woo Chu Hoo Chak. A concluding remark by Professor Srikant Patnaik, Chairman IIMT and UNESCO Chair Lecturer at National University of La Plata. We will end with a feedback cum interaction session. Now, let me take you on a tour of this UNESCO Chair Lecture Series. We have started it in the first edition on November 1st, 2023, where Professor Francisco Vigliarolo, Director and UNESCO Chair, Professor, National University of La Plata, Argentina, Sri Suresh Sarangi, Professor Kamla Prasad Mahapatra, Dr. Chitranjan Mishra were our eminent speakers. During our second editions, we were fortunate to have with us Professor Otto Herman, Sri Subrat Kumar Prushti, and Professor Shushant Kumar Naik with us. The third edition, which we have conducted on January 6, 2024, Professor Francisco Vigliarolo, Professor Massimo Franchi, Professor Dr. Sanjeev Kumar Jena, Sri Ramakrishna Vupalaru were with us. During our fourth edition, which we have conducted on February 5th, 2024, Professor Francisco Vigliarolo, Sri Ravi Shankar Behra, and Sri Sanu Das were with us. During our fifth edition, which we have conducted on March 2nd, 2024, Sri Ananta Charan Swami was our speaker. During our sixth edition, which we have conducted on April 6, 2024, Professor Francisco Vigliarolo and Sri Jagdanand was our speaker. During our seventh edition, we have conducted it on 10th of May, 2024. Professor Francisco Vigliarolo and Professor Otto Herman were the eminent speakers. During our eighth edition, that has been conducted on 1st of June, 2024, Professor Srikant Patnaik was our speaker. During the ninth edition, which we have conducted on July 5th, 2024, Dr. Ranjana Bajpayee from Ravenshaw University, Cuttack, was our speaker. Now, let me introduce Professor Francisco Vigliarello, Director and UNESCO Chair Professor, National University of La Plata, Argentina, formally to the audience. Professor Francisco Vigliarello is full-time professor of regional economics at Catholic University of La Plata and social economics, PhD in social sciences, specialization in economic sociology, postdoctorate in economics, and master in sustainable development. He is also an associate investigator of the CESOT, Centro de Study of Sociology of Work of the University of Buenos Aires. At the Universidad Nacional de La Plata, he is chair holder of UNESCO Chair in Economic Systems and Human Rights. He founded with almost 20 universities all over the world. From 2008 to 2015, he worked at the University of San Martin, where he promoted and designed the first master course financed completely with European funds in Argentina in democracy and DDDHH. Before moving from Italy to Argentina in order to study social responses to the financial crisis of 2001. He worked at the University of Ferrara, where he was professor of social economics and methodology and technique of social investigation and promoter and coordinator of some masters, including social science and non-profit organizations and social economics and international cooperation. He has also been director of CIPSI, Italy Federation of 45 NGOs present in more than 60 countries around the world. With his investigations, he is interested in local development process such as the construction of territorial identities that the imply and affirmation of rights, ontological reason through the strength of associative and democratic forms of production. In this direction, he works to what is called an economic phenomenology, which aims to observe the economy starting from the relationship between subject and materiality, which presupposes functions, ideas, concepts, and the affirmation of relational identity of a democratic society, which defines an ontological reason as opposed to the utilitarian one. He has published various books and scientific articles from which he explains concepts such as social, ethical, capital, economic specialization, and democracy. Demand for the rights of the people, mesoeconomics approach, and the principle of economic phenomenology. As his latest book we mentioned, The Economy is a Social Phenomenon, Principles of Economics, Phenomenology in 2019, published with Udeba, Wolves, and Lambs. Capitalist Societies and Ways Out in 2017, published with Jacka Book. Now, let me introduce Professor Andre W.H. Ip, Senior Research Fellow, the Hong Kong Polytechnic University and Professor Emeritus and Adjunct Professor of Mechanical Engineering, University of Saskatchewan. We are very fortunate to have him with us today. Professor Andrew received his PhD from Lombok University, UK, MBA from Brunel University, UK, MSc in Industrial Engineering from Cranfield University, UK, and LLB Honours from the University of Wolverhampton. Dr. Ip was awarded in 2015 Gold Medal with the Congratulation of Jury and Thailand Award for Best International Invention in the 43rd International Exhibition of Geneva. He was awarded the Natural Science Award in 2013, Ministry of Education, Higher Education Outstanding Scientific Research Output Awards by the Ministry of Education of Mainland China. Dr. Ip is distinguished and visiting professor of various China mainland universities and honorary industrial fellow of the University of Warwick Manufacturing Group. He is Professor Emeritus and Adjunct Professor of Mechanical Engineering, University of Saskatchewan, and Senior Research Fellow of Hong Kong Polytechnic University. He is a chartered engineer, senior member of IEEE, and member of Hong Kong Institution of Engineers, and members of various professional bodies in mechanical and electrical engineering. He is editor-in-chief of the Journal of Enterprise Information System, SCI Index Q1, Taylor and Francis founder and editor-in-chief of International Journal of Engineering Business Management, ESCI, and Supers Index WOSQ1, Sage International Journal of Software Science and Computational Intelligence, IGI Global. Today, we are even if having a very eminent person also with us, Dr. Wu Chu Hu Jack, Associate Professor SCM, BMSIM Program Director and Associate Head of Cloud Innovation School, the Hang Seng University of Hong Kong. Professor Wu excels in his role at Hong Kong Polytechnic University, PolyU, as a seasoned researcher with over a decade of professional experience. His extensive expertise is built on solid foundation of numerous roles held at the university, contribution significantly to his reputation. Throughout his career, Wu has contributed closely with industrial partners, offering invaluable support in formulating business strategies, improving operations, and driving new product development. His accomplishments have earned him several prestigious accolades, including the Big Data Analysis Award from China and Hong Kong Enterprise Market Development Association in 2014. The Best Reviewer Award for the journal Internet Research in 2016, and the Outstanding Paper Award for the Emerald Literary Network Award in 2019. Dr. Wu stays at the forefront of his field through active membership in the IEEE HKSQ as a senior member and holding certifications such as PMP, CBAP, CCSK, CEP, and SSBB. Looking ahead, he remains committed to advancing his research in the areas of industrial Internet of Things IoT, as well as smart logistics and manufacturing. His ongoing contributions continue to shape both academic and industrial landscape, ensuring a forward-thinking approach to technological innovation. We are having Professor Srikant Patnaik, Chairman IIMT and UNESCO Chair Lecturer at National University of La Plata with us. Let me now introduce him formally to the audience. Dr. Srikant Patnaik, the founder and director of IIMT Bhubaneswar, holds an MBA from Sambalpur University in 1990 and a PhD in computational intelligence from Jadavpur University, India in 1999. With an extensive academic career, he has supervised various theses and master theses in computational intelligence, soft computing applications, and re-engineering. Dr. Patnaik's scholarly contributions include more than 100 research papers in international journals and conference proceedings, along with authoring 3 textbooks and more than 100 edited volumes, including invited book chapters published by leading international publishers such as Springer Verlag and Clever Academic. He holds editorial positions in various book series and journals, including those published by InterScience Publishing House, that is International Journal of Information and Communication Technology, IJICT, and International Journal of Computational Vision and Robotics, IJCBR. It also includes publication from Springer and IGI Global, contributing significantly to the dissemination of knowledge in his field. Now, I will be requesting Principal IIMT Professor Dr. Pramod Kumar Christie to give a glimpse about all activities of InterScience Institute of Management and Technology, Bhubaneswar. Sir, please.
Jai Jagannath, a very good morning to all of you. Thank you, Sama Madam, for providing me this opportunity to give an insight about IIMT Bhubaneswar. InterScience Institute of Management and Technology Bhubaneswar was established in the year 2007 with an objective of teaching science of management in addition to the practice of management. The name itself explains about the scientific study of management, and further to mention that it is inscribed in our institute logo. Workshop, seminar, and conferences. Let me now explain what do you mean by teaching science of management. During these 15 years of existence, we have organized, facilitated more than 100 symposium, seminar, workshops, national and international in various niche areas of management and technology. Since our inception, we at the rate IIMT have edited and published more than 100 volumes in the area of management and technology from reputed publishing houses like IEEE, ACM, Springer, Elsevier, iOS, SPY, Fluor Academic, MDPI, Hindawi, or InterScience, etc. All these books are available for purchase from Google or Amazon. All our faculty members are engaged in these activities. Each year, we invite and host professors from abroad for workshops and seminars. I am tempted to say that this year, Professor Jesus Garcia from Universidad Complutense de Madrid and Professor Vijayan Sugmoran from Oakland University School of Business visited our campus. During the month of April 2023, Professor Vipul Jain was here from Victoria University, Wellington, for a month on a research exchange program. We publish management books through our own in-house publication, that is IIMT Lecturer Notes on Management, where we publish the essential books like self-management, career guidance, and emerging fields of management. We have started one channel, namely IIMT Open House in YouTube. The purpose is to educate students and parents at large on various subjects and disciplines through talks and interviews. By now, we have more than 100 episodes available at our YouTube channel, namely at the rate IIMT Open House. We have taken interviews with the professors, professionals, entrepreneurs, and policymakers. We have created a platform known as InterScience Research Networks, consisting of professionals and researchers. It is available at www.interscience.ac.in, through which we organize various programs inside and outside India. We do arrange workshops and seminars at various universities. IIMT is organizing an international conference on economic systems and human rights, that is, towards an economy of brotherhood. ESHR 2024, date November 1st and 2nd, 2024, under the guidance of Professor Francisco Vigliarolo, who have given Weblink. Our institute is in the Unesco Chair Professor Institute Network, Professor Corinne Propentiu Vladisescu from City University, London, who is an Unesco professor in the domain of information technology, visited our institute during 2016. Today, I am proud to say that we are hosting the UNESCO Chair Professor on Economic Systems and Human Rights. Thanks a lot to Professor Francisco Vigliarolo for giving me this opportunity. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for the insight. May I now request Professor Francisco Vigliarolo, Director and UNESCO Chair Professor, National University of La Plata, Argentina, to deliver his introductory remark. Sir, please.
Sir, you are muted. Sir, you are muted.
Excuse me. Thank you. I was saying, thank you so much again for staying with you. It's really a pleasure always to make part of this interesting debate. And we are doing from 1 year all over the world. And just some point of reflection I would like to give to introduce this important. Do you hear me?
May I request all participants to please mute their mics so that the session will run smoothly?
Excuse me? Do you
Sir,
hear me?
please.
I was here something about. Okay. Okay. I was saying that in my opinion it's very important and interesting this topic today because our as chair as UNESCO chair on economic system and human rights, one of the categories that we can call so the old people or the senior people that are always in problem with the new what we call with the new economic dominant model, no economic dominant model. I just want to say that we are experiencing and or living that growth and it is not going together with rights from many years. For many years, we are living that growth is not going together with rights. But many inequalities are growing always more. In particular, because of the financiarization economic system, where only few people, really few people have the material source of the planet. In this from the 1960 of the last century, we also experiencing we were also experiencing the fall of the fall of welfare states. And in this system, always the affirmation in this framework, the affirmation of the capitalism based on exasperated liberalism and individual interests. We are so we can talk about what many scholars all over the world talk about of society of waste. Society of waste. It's really a shame to assist to this dimension of things, and where the elderly question is always increasing because it's very important to deal with, because it's the health people are always on the margin of the societies. The question that I'd like to give to put on to give on to the other people that will talk after me is that how can we build a new state of well-being and apply the IoT that is really interesting to understand how we can use these technologies and to fill this void, to fill this void where many peoples, and in particular old people, are on the margins. I think that this is the challenge. This is one of the challenges of our time, because young and old are always engulfed, are always engulfed by economic system capitalism based on individual interest, where there is not space, there is not place for the right of people, for the rights of people. This is very important to understand that we are having a battle between an economic that can achieve a rights demand for peoples, an economy that can achieve richness for few people that many times does not coincide, does not carry out the right of people, and many people are always in problem. I give you the floor, and thank you for always for organizing this kind of debate, because it's very important. And I think that we can, in this opportunity, I would like to say to Professor Srikanta that I would like to publish in our UNESCO website, because it's very important to how we can understand and reflect understand and talk about technologies can help people always in difficult in the because of economic system that are not careful with them. Okay, thank you, and excuse me for because I was for few minutes of introduction. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor Francisco, for joining. Although it is very awkward time for you, it is midnight. I am here to welcome the members and delegates from Department of Holistic Education of India. They are a very pioneer. They are doing work from India. Professor Bala Lakhendra, Professor Rabi Prakash, and others. Professor Pankaj Kumar and others, whom I am seeing, and many more may be joining soon. So they are working towards the holistic education of India, and each year they are joining at some place discussing on different aspects. So welcome them, and this is a very, you can say, a right forum for the poorer section of the people, those who are deprived of many, development of the society. And Professor Francisco is continuously working towards that, and he holds the UNESCO chair position on economic right and human right and economic systems. With this, I request Professor Andrew to share his views on the technology aspect for the elderly people. Professor Andrew.
Hello. Thank you, Professor Francesco and Professor Panek, and for your detailed introduction. I very much agree with Professor Francesco that technology may bring things like inequality and employment problem, things like that. But it also brings us many advantages, convenience with technology. So today, I try to deliver a talk which use a mixed approach, right? Mixed approach of technology with human rights, sustainability, social and economic aspects in it. And the title of my talk is IoT and healthcare, right? For the elderly. Okay, so hopefully I can share with some of my insight on these aspects, and hopefully it will benefit mankind in the future. Okay, yeah. So thank you. Right. Soma has already introduced myself, so I can skip some of the pages. This basically introduction of myself. Okay, so I look after some journals and do some research and a little bit of teaching, and organize some special issues for various journals. Okay, in particular, I recently published a book entitled IoT and Elderly Care for Spinka. That book is published with Professor Jack Wu together. So later on, I will share with you some of our material in this book, which could be useful for students and friends who are interested in this particular topic, particularly elderly care. Okay. So these are my journals, right? And you're welcome to have papers to submit to us for publication. We receive quite a few papers related to healthcare on engineering management, various aspects of healthcare related technology, and also empirical studies of healthcare services. And also, in particular, the other one, enterprise information system, is more information system related for the system architecture of building hardware and software for hospital, for clinics, and things like that. Okay, so this is the book, right? And Professor Jack Wu and myself published this last year. Okay, so of course you are welcome to obtain an e-copy from me. Okay, we can share for individual use. Okay, so you can ask me, and I will try to give you an e-copy so that we can look at the material in details. Okay. So we publish some books in Chinese. So these are the books in Chinese. I will skip it, right? You probably cannot read the Chinese one. So it's about IoT and some the hardware technology and software technology. Okay, books on the biomedical instruments, sensors to measure the body. Right. Okay. Go to the topic I like to share with you today. I'll introduce a little bit more on technology side and the benefit it brings to us, and then we will talk a little bit with some case studies and share with you some of the problems that we may encounter and how we can overcome. Okay. Yeah. So today, IoT everywhere. I think every one of us wear this smartwatch, right? Mobile phone. There's something indispensable, right? The technology that can monitor our health, right? And particularly if we are for the elderly, because in the future, the forecast of the population of many countries, like Hong Kong, right, mainland China, in the next 10, 20 years. There may be over 50% of the population with an age of more than 60. Okay, so although 60 is not that old, right? I'm already 60, over 60, but still very energetic. But we still need a lot of care. We are not as active at the when we were young. So there are many technology that help us to build our body better. Okay, yeah, monitor our body better, and like to do exercise through various type of IoT technology, healthcare technology. So IoT, Internet of Things, using all these sensors, right, for home energy management, for the transportation management, for payment in particular, right? I'll start with some of the payment that we use every day nowadays, because in Hong Kong or in some countries, elderly can enjoy a very low fare of transportation. We pay very little for transportation, like underground buses. Basically, we in Hong Kong, we pay less than $2 when you're over 60. Okay, you get a very large reduction of transportation fee. Okay, to encourage elderly to travel more, to visit friends, right? To have social activities. Okay, so I'll talk about payment, about environmental things like that. Okay, yeah. So right. So we based on IoT sensor technology. So this is the type of payment that we use for a long time already. It's called octopus card. Okay, a card that is there's a sensor inside, actually a very small chip, right, with an antenna. Okay, so that we can carry with us whenever we go to take bus or underground or anything. We can also use it to purchase goods in the supermarket, in many of the outlets. Okay, that we can use this octopus card, we call. Okay, we developed it more than 20 years ago already. Okay, so a long time we already use it, and today, like I said, elderly can make use of it for payment with a concession free. Okay, we actually put a picture of the elderly on the on this octopus card, this payment card. Okay, with our picture in it, so that we recognize who you are, you're elderly. Okay, so it's a very convenient way of making payment and identifying yourself, and a very simple technology, not very complicated. It's just as cheap an antenna inside the card. Okay, like your Visa card. Okay, yeah, so that you can touch the reader, and then you can do the payment. Okay, or doing retailing. Okay, so it's a elderly octopus card, tap and go payment. It's very convenient for elderly. Okay, especially we can enjoy. Okay, all of this the cheap fare. Okay, for transportation. Okay, and also this technology a little bit of in what we call this computer chip is called radio frequency identification technology, RFID. Okay, this technology, it has a active or passive technology inside it. For the passive one is that your card do not have battery in it. Okay, and it's short distance. Okay, but for the longer distance, okay, like your when you cross the tunnel, there's where your vehicle will be identified from a remote distance. Okay, and then do the payment automatically. That's you need to have a battery inside your card, inside your smart box. Okay, yeah. So it's the active and passive technology in it. Okay, we use it for not only for transportation in the, like I said, across the tunnel and for long distance, but also for luggage. Okay, in the Hong Kong airport, this is for sorting your luggage, right? Which identifying your package, right? We put a tag in it. We call it a tag in your luggage, and it go through this luggage identification, sorting, and then system. Okay, so this is for toll collection, like contactless payment. Okay, for luggage, your tracking, things like that. So many applications for this kind of technology. Radio frequency identification for payment, for identification. Okay, where you are and how
बढ़िया
you
बंदा है
can where you are, and there's a very convenience way of tracking people, material, movement, things like that. So yeah. Right, if we look at this technology, actually, we can sort of look at the architecture itself. Okay, and if you look at it, basically on the sensing layer, I talk about the RFID, right? On the bottom of this diagram, you can see this is RFID, right? This is the antenna. This is the computer chip. There's very little memory in it, right? And we can stick it on to your card, Visa card, and payment card, and even we put it into tag it in your retailing products like clothes, shoes, right? So that we can check out automatically, right? Check out automatically. We know what is the goods and how much it charge. Okay, it's the payment is even payment. The shopping can be even done automatically, right? Yeah. So the based on sensors, right? Based on the all these communication device, like on the next layer we have the network. Like today we have 5G and 6G, which is very fast kind of network that we can connecting all this information, the data, right? And also cloud service. So we spin off many applications, right? Of course, part of the application is for healthcare, and we will talk a little bit more on how it is done in the healthcare, and monitoring your body temperature, blood pressure, blood oxygen, right? Your motion, whether you have dementia, and whether you're likely to if you are elderly, you easily fall, right? So we try to prevent this and helping on the taking care of some of the elderly services. Okay, so there are many other applications like environmental, right, for monitoring the safety of the workers, right, for the transportation, right, for logistics, right, we can monitor the material movement, right, locating where they are. Okay, yeah, all this technology that based on this IoT, Internet of Things architecture. Okay, so from sensor layer, communication network, and then we spin off many applications. So that's why today we have so many IoT device that is very popular, right? And all your information can be displayed on your mobile phone and your wearable device, your watch, right? Things like that. So this is the technology that's so easy to use, so easy to deploy. Okay, and it is cost efficient. Okay, it's really inexpensive. Okay. So of course, we're talking about healthcare, right? And what we do now, we call it, what we can do now, for example, you can monitor your the healthcare condition, and also if you need to take your medicine daily, right? So we can even able to track, yeah, how many pills you've taken, in order to avoid any confusion and then things like that. Okay, yeah. So because of the 5G and in the future 6G, right? They are so fast where we can put the data and store it on the edge, right? Or store it in the cloud computer based on the algorithm, right? Of course, all this when the communication network is so powerful, so fast, and then we come all this new technology like AI, artificial intelligence for recognition, image processing, and VR, AR things also can emerging. Okay, yeah, because it's the architecture for communication and IoT become so powerful and easy to deploy. Okay, for that is becomes what we call big data analytics. Okay, and we'll talk a little bit. So all this information can be displayed on your mobile phone, and also display on wearable device, monitoring your blood pressure, and like I said, and body temperature, and any abnormal things happen. Okay, for the elderly. Right, this one in Chinese, but what we look at is for home elderly services. Okay, so this technology deployed for elderly home, right? So sorry about this because the photos are taken out from some of the promotion material, like for information automation, right? Document management, okay, for and also the alarm system in the elderly home, right? So we know where the elderly are, and how we can would they be wandering outside of the this elderly home, and all these things we can locate where they are and how they are behaving over the past maybe several days, and comparing with the mobility with that of the several months ago, maybe. Okay, so even community service, after all this information are collected, and we can analyze it, and then we can provide some community services, right? We can deploy doctors and nurses, and then we can manage their health better, and regularly checking their body condition, pulse, blood pressure, and right, activities, mobility, things like that. And Also for home care for the elderly who are not at the elderly home, but they are stay with the family or are living alone. Then we have some robots, right? We can have some robot to help taking care of them. Check robots, right? We'll talk a little bit about the check robot who can talk with the elderly and maybe play some game, right? Based on some VR or AR technology, right? And then we have some hope, hand of hope with rehabilitation, right? We can develop some rehabilitation for them. Okay, yeah. Try to the finger motion, the leg, and some exercise who can make them more mobility, right? Yeah. And of course, if they are less mobile, and then we have some wheelchairs, right? That is, they can navigate automatically, or we can integrate with some furniture and some the home care devices, right? For for using the lighting and also the other facilities, right? So this is basically the architecture of healthcare, right? Healthcare that that we can deploy based on IoT, Internet of Things healthcare platform, right? We can help them do more exercise if they are they're able to do some exercise, simple exercise, and not just the body but also their mind, and then they can keep healthy, and they will not, less likely to have some heart problem, okay, or fall down, because fall down is something quite dangerous, right? If the elderly fall down, they may broken their leg, and then they have to stay in hospital for a long time, okay, yeah, and recover, things like that. So healthcare portfolio for the doctor, for the nurse, right? Yeah. Mm. So again, in our book, we talk quite a lot of this technology with some of the VR, AR thing for doing exercise, so that they can keep the elderly to be more healthy. Okay, yeah, and make use of the mobile phone and things like that. So this is a more technical side. I will skip it, but let's talk about the technology that we deploy, okay, through the cloud and through the sensors, right? We can provide training exercise, help them balance, right? Help them balance, right? To play some game, right? Dancing game maybe, or simulate game for playing table tennis, right? Yeah, playing golf maybe, okay. So exercise that can based on VR, AR, and for the elderly to do training and exercise, keep them more healthy. Okay, yeah. So there are all sort of apps developed, and they are for particularly for the elderly. Like I said, right? For elderly to do the payment, to play games, right? Things like that, to communicate with friends, to communicate with their children, right? And their peers, right? This is a book that we published. That actually this many of the project we mentioned here and on the book sponsored by some of the companies, right? And also some elderly home and government. Okay, so many of this organization to help us to develop and build, implement all these solutions. Okay, we publish it in terms of books and to share with others. Okay. So talking about AI now, once we have a cloud, we have a fast communication network, we have sensors, we collect all the data, all data can be trained. Okay, we have some sample data retrained using AI engine, right? Open AI, things like that. Yeah, so we are able to do machine learning. We are able to do language processing. We are able to communicate with the elderly better using their community, right? Because elderly would have a community, will have the language that they understand better. All these entertainment and also music, things like that. They are more easy to accept that for that particular age group. Okay, the age group. Okay, so and for the planning of the hospital service, we can have some scheduling optimization, the doctor and nurse deployment. Okay, so obviously they are very expensive resources, and hopefully we can elevate their daily work, and then some of the work can be done through all this AI and IoT thing. Okay, so robots, we've seen such robots to help taking care of the elderly, material handling robot, and also chat robot. Chat robots with emerging technology, right? That can help the elderly to pay exercise, pay games, or do some exercise. Okay. So of course we do also image recognition to recognize if the activity of the elderly, okay, what is the time of mobility, and how much time they spend on sleeping, and any particular type of behavior like dementia that is quite a problem, quite a significant problem for elderly when they grow older. The dementia is become serious. Okay. So it's just a picture that I think we talk about a lot about it today for image processing, for cancer identification, and also for the body tracking, ensuring that the elderly are of a good health, right? And we all this technology helped elevate the workers workload, right? The doctor and the health workers workload, right? So those are important to balance the resources. So resources deployment is always important, particularly when we have a much bigger elderly population, relatively a smaller younger population. So how these younger people taking care of this population, we have to have more technology inside it, and that to help solve this problem. Okay. So again, this just some again some technology, right, for helping take care of individual healthcare, and that try to lower the cost, right? This is the economic benefit of technology bringing to us, right? And also then because of shortage of these medical professionals, right? Then we need to think of ways, right? That we can lower the cost of the healthcare. Okay, in particular the government, right? Many of the resources coming from government, okay, who take care of the elderly people. Okay, so we try to have some innovation and latest technology to help solve this problem, help elderly problem. So robots, hopefully one day this the robotic surgery will be available to most of the people, and the cost goes down, right? But then at the moment it's still very expensive. So I think one day that when all this technology are more mature, right? All AI and this the biomechanical technology are more available to the general public. So we will try to provide more service to not only just the rich people, but also the poor people, right? So everybody can obtain the benefit of such, okay, from the robots that we coming in the future. So next we'll talk a little bit more about the book, and also some other aspect of this elderly care. In particular, we talk about maybe sustainability, information security, and also how we can make the elderly care available to rich and poor people. Equality is important, right? And then we will try to share the book with you, but because of the time that we have for this today is just a very brief introduction. So like I said, if you need more, and we will be able to talk to us, please talk to us, and we'll try to share the book with you with all this material and case study. So in particular, case study, we give you some more examples of how we design and implement this IoT thing, this technology thing, and then how we try to be take care of the other things like what Professor Francesco said, human rights, and then inequality, right, and also employment opportunity. Okay, yeah. Oh, so this always a balance between all these aspects. We have to balance all this technology, the benefit of technology, the cost of the technology, and also inequality, and also the employment opportunity. So these are social aspects, which is much bigger. Okay. Okay. I will pass the time to Dr. Jack Wu, right, who will share with you some case study and some material in our books, and then we will discuss more. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Professor Yip. And here's Jack. And nice to see you all again here. So actually, this book is focusing on IoT for elderly, aging, and e-health. So this book actually gives comprehensive coverage, or you can say the foreign language of the healthcare service and the associated technologies associated in order to meet this unique needs of the older adults. So as we all know that the population ages, it is crucial for healthcare providers, policymakers, practitioners, and also like us, the researcher and the technology innovator to understand the needs, the trends, and also the growing demands of the elderly healthcare services. So in this book, with all the author's efforts, so reader will find valuable insights and some recommendations on several topics. So for example, the effective strategies for integrating home-based and institutional healthcare solutions, how to ensure the older adults receive the care they need in the most appropriate settings. So moreover, our book also dive into the role of the use of technology, especially the emerging technologies, in enhancing the care quality. More importantly, the accessibility, from telehealth to wearable devices, the integrate innovative solutions are actually transforming how we provide and manage the healthcare for the seniors. So the book presents innovative models for delivering the personalized, specific, and cost-effective care. So we hope that it addresses the equality and access issues, ensure that all individuals, regardless of the background, can benefit from the healthcare advancement. So you can see that, okay, a very significant demographic shift is that, okay, by estimate in 2050, the number of people aged 65 and older is expected to double. As Professor mentioned, of course, 60 or over 65 doesn't matter, just a number. But we need to accept the fact that the elderly, of course, they are less energetic, but they are still active. So we need to provide more resources to support that portions of populations in the world. So in this book, we also, not just this book, because the book actually is summarized some of our current findings, but actually we examine the health challenge. We investigate common health issues that affect the older adults, such as reduced mobility and also the prevalence of the cognitive diseases. We highlight the increased incidence of conditions like proposals and diabetes within the demographics, emphasizing the need for targeted healthcare strategies to support, to address the significant health concerns. And Also, we need to evaluate the current healthcare system, how current healthcare system manage the elderly care, focusing on both the short-term and long-term care solutions. We analyze the hospital readiness for the elderly patients as a critical measures of the acute care effectiveness. So this evaluation is essential for understanding where improvement can be made, because not the best, but we want to do it better to enhance the overall qualities of taking care of the older adults. And finally, technological integration is a must. So we cover the incorporations of the cutting edge or the emerging technologies, like what Professor Yip mentioned, the use of the Internet of Things and artificial intelligence, AI, in enhancing the elderly healthcare from both soft side and also the hard side. We will look at how AI-driven, or you can call the data analytics-driven approach, can be utilized to predict and manage the health status, the situation in elderly care facilities, showcasing the innovative solutions, promoting them. Hope more healthcare practitioners can use and follow. So you may ask, what are the needs for the aging people? So as individuals age, they are more likely to develop some chronic conditions that finally affects their health and also their daily lives. So approximately over 60% individual aged 65 and older have at least 2 chronic conditions, for example, heart diseases. This high percentage underscore that urgent need for more effective healthcare strategies and also the practice to manage all these conditions in order to not just save lives, but to improve the qualities of their life, their situations. So one of the important point is how to maintain the mobility. So physical capabilities, it is a natural effect that it will decrease with age. So which can significantly affect their what we call the life and also their daily coverage in the city or in the society. So affecting not just walking, but also their balance and also the ability to perform the daily activity that we find very common and very easy when they were young. So the average time it is for an individual age, let's say 80 plus and older, to walk just 4 meters can be twice as long as it is for the individual in their 50s. So we can see there's a big difference. But do we aware that? So this decline in mobility not only impact the physical health, but also increase the risk of fall and get injured. Just like Professor Yim mentioned in his previous project, there is a training kit using the IoT device, making a balance board, is to try to maintain their ability, to maintain their stability in order to prevent them from getting hurt because of falling down. So on the other hand, the loss of sensory functions, such as the visions or hearing, is also common among the older adults and lead to serious challenge in communication and increased feelings of being isolated. Okay, isolations. For example, approximately 1/3 of the individuals aged 65 and older suffer from hearing loss, and nearly 1 in 3 people over 75 experience vision impairment. So these kind of sensory loss are difficulties older adults face in navigating the environment and get connection with the others. So because of the time limitation, so Of course, the health needs of the Asian people, we have more to say, but in short, okay, you can see that currently about 10% of people aged 65 or about are affected by dementia. And alarmingly, this doubles every 5 years. So after the age of 65. So it is alarm. It is an alarm. A significant rise highlights the urgent needs for effective strategies to support quality health in our aging population. So it brings a big pressure to our healthcare system, okay? Because approximately with the projection indicating around 30% increase in demand over the next decade for sure. I think this number is quite true, and we cannot underestimate this. We need to ensure that they are equipped to meet this and complex needs, not only a particular country, but all over the world. All right, so here, this slide shows 4 important points about the impact of aging on health. They are the physical health implications, leads to the increased risk for age, such as keeping the walking normally is important. Another one is the sensory health implications that I mentioned before. So for reviewing the current elderly healthcare service, actually you can refer to these figures. In short, we can separate into the short-term healthcare service and also the long-term healthcare service. So for the short-term healthcare service, actually, it is as important as the long-term healthcare service. For example, you can imagine the continuity of care by linking the acute care, for example, the hospital service for illness, for injuries, with the long-term care, such as the rehabilitations, skills nursing, home care. So healthcare provider can ensure that patients receive seamless transitions between different types of care. I'm not talking about just one-off transition, but it takes time because recovery takes time. So these continuities help to prevent the gaps in the treatment and reduce the risk of the elderly lacking the proper treatment and caring service. And also, apart from the hospital, the integrated system also allowed for the development for personal care plans. We are talking about the elderly. They need to take care themselves at home in order to reduce the pressure in the central healthcare system in a society. So the immediate and ongoing health risk, as I mentioned, is being deteriorated. More and more needs from the elderly. So the patient's condition changes. We need to ensure the appropriate interventions and also the support will be in place so that they can find it not in the professional hospital or daycare center, but at home or in the social support available in the small district. So it is all talking about the coordinated service. It's not one-off. So effective communications, coordination between the short-term service provider and also the centralized healthcare hospital service providers, they need to facilitate better management of the communication and the transition of the support. This reduces the duplication of the services important and ultimately enhance the overall care efficiency to the older adults. Okay, so actually this is just some summary of what I share with you. And in the last part, actually I would like to use one of the current case, the case study of an age-friendly university that actually I am working for. Our university, the Hansen University of Hong Kong. Of course, this is not a big and very famous university. It is one of the self-financed university in Hong Kong. But actually, we found that as the global population ages, the need for what we call the intergenerational connection and support system has become important, increasingly important. Traditionally, when we talk about university, we will have a first picture, first image that university is a hub for our next generation, for the youth, joined together to acquire knowledge. But now we find that the university has another role. The value of fostering the relationship with the older adults as well. So this initiative, we also call it as the elderly adoption in our university, encourage students to engage with the elderly members of the community, creating a mutual beneficial environment. You may ask why? How to mutual benefits? Because the elderly, the older adults, instead, they have a less busy life, but they are full of experience. So therefore, it helps break down the age-related stereotypes and foster a sense of community. Give a chance, give a platform for them to communicate with the youth, and the youth can also learn from the story, their experience. So that is what we call a win-win situation. Okay, so we see the benefits, the potential benefits, but we need to think about, is the university available or good enough to support relatively a large amount of the older adults to walking around, okay, join the activities in the university? So it brings us a big question mark. How can we facilitate the elderly, the older adults to adopt the new life smoothly? So one of the point is that university sometimes is a remote area to the older adult. It is not always in the city center, but we found that the location-based technology in campus could be an essential one to let the elderly, the older adult, to know where they are. How can they find the correct place, the venues, the classroom, the lecture theaters, or the facilities in the university? So the location-based technologies is actually, we have a lot of them. For the outdoor science, we all familiar with using, let's say, Google Map with the GPS, but GPS is not available in indoor environment. So we also need to think about, in the university, almost over 70% of the spaces are covered, okay, are in the indoor environment. How can we give them a helping hand to guide them to reach the places correctly, easily, without worry? So there are lots of indoor positioning techniques, for example, triangulation, propagation, but we propose to use the fingerprinting. So fingerprinting is basically, you can consider the signal strength. The RSI features vectors composed with the received signal, the RF signal, radio frequency signal, with different emitting device, or sometimes you may be more familiar with the beacons, okay? If you are using Apple, they have the beacon, okay? It actually emitting the Bluetooth. Bluetooth is kind of the radio frequency as well. So associated with a precise position. So this technique become more and more important and prominent for indoor positioning. And more importantly, it is well fitting with the Wi-Fi signal. So Wi-Fi, you may associate with data transfer, okay, serving in the internet, right? But actually, we can make use of the Wi-Fi signal abundant in the whole indoor environment, in every building, in every block in the university. So we can use the Wi-Fi signal for indoor positioning to net the elderly people, the older adult, know well where they are and get familiar with the university environment quickly. So you may say that a lot of university or the buildings are barrier-free available. Okay, for example, we have the slope instead of the steps, and we have the a sensor, okay, to detect the people approaching and open the door for them. Okay, but the problem is, do they know where they are? It is a problem. We have those good infrastructure available, but we don't know where they are. So how can the older adult to use them to facilitate their life in the university? So therefore, nowadays, every older adult, they have the smartphone, all right? Smartphone is part of their life. So therefore, why don't we provide a clear and easy to use indoor map available in their smartphone? So of course, we take the need to prepare the digital map for the whole campus. And we need to do the site validations to detect the signal. Sometimes we need to use the GPS signal because this is the outdoor environment. But when we switch to the indoor environment, we will use the Wi-Fi signal. And then we do the Wi-Fi fingerprint surveying in order to give the landmark for every buildings, especially those buildings with more lecture halls or frequent use, not make sure that they can easily to identify it in the app as well. And more importantly, we also prepare the immersive virtual map with the 360 degrees capture, so they can have a virtual tour. And then finally, the map is launched after several rounds of the evaluation in order to make sure that the accuracy for within 5 meters is acceptable and guiding people's, not only the older adults, but sometimes the disabled, to guide them to find the best path from one point to another point, walking around in our university without any barriers. Right? So it is the accuracy, okay, 5 to 10 meters still acceptable because we can assume that with 5 to 10 meter accuracy, we already bring the target audience to the destination close enough. And you can see the difference between using, for example, the beacons. You can do the indoor positioning using the beacons, but in this small layout, you can see that we need to place 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, 4 different beacons for 4 different associated area or zones. But beacons is not a must-use item. That means if you need to use the Bluetooth technologies for the indoor positioning and checking, you need to invest the extra cost to buy those hardware for each zone. In our proposal, because the Wi-Fi connection is already available in the building in the university, so therefore you do not need to invest extra cost to buy any new hardware in order to facilitate the indoor positioning. So here is a quick look. It is the screen capture of the app that we can make for the older adult and also the disabled. All right, they can use the scan code, and also we have a very simple UI, less complicated because the elderly sometimes they have some eye impairment or the eyesight is not that good. So we try to keep it as simple as possible. And then they can choose the barrier-free options in order to bring them from point A to the destination with flat road, with indicator, without steps. And sometimes in order to let them to gain confidence, start the journey without any worry, they can also use the virtual tours that we prepare for them. This virtual tour is showing the capture and guiding them to the destination as well. And of course, just like Professor Yip mentioned, thanks for the technology's advancement, we will prepare the chatbot for them. If they have any inquiry, they can speak out. And first, we will have our chatbot engine to reply them to provide the useful information. However, sometimes they need urgent help on further information. Then we will direct them to the back-end service center, and we have the human being, okay, to pick up their call to provide support to them. Okay, so you can see that we can choose the barrier fee, and the route will be changed. Okay, instead of finding the steps, and we will use the escalator, the lift, okay, for the elderly and also the disabled to reach the destination. So actually, with knowing their location, we also can enable them to use the app with 2 extra functions to know the university more individually, or a group of the elder people. They can use the apps to know what around you in the HSU area, because we know the location, so we can share the information in the app with them about what facility around them. And also we can count, okay, as kind of the distance traveled in the university and convert back to the step they doing exercise in our university to keep them healthy as well. So you may find that, okay, if we let the elder adults to enter our university, usually every student, we will have a student card, okay, identity. But for the elderly, we also designed this special student card. You can see that it is not a card, but actually this is a smart device because it has the sensor inside. If there is unfortunately a fault detections detected, then it will send signal to our security center immediately, and knowing the location, and the security and the support will be sent to see is there anything goes wrong. So therefore, in this project, I will say the elderly adoption in our university, of course, there are lots of challenge. For example, we need to think about the fairness, all right, and the use of the data security, because some people may concern about using the indoor positioning. Will you hack into my smartphone to capture my data, to record down my check and trace me, an example. So we need to make sure that the data will be used for their own experience located in the university only. We will not collect the data anonymously, and we sell the data as well. Everything is transparent, and the personal data must be accurate and necessary to keep them safe. And one more time is about the personal data shall be processed in accordance with the rights of data and subjects. So all these what we call the data security and protections, we also put down the time limit for them. The personal data somehow must not be kept for longer than 1 week. Longer than 1 week, we won't keep it at all, in order to make all the people to use the technology without worry, safe to use. And the ultimate goal is that to ensure the older adults have a happy journey, join different activities in our university, okay, without worries. All right, finally, you can see that as mentioned by Professor Yip, there are 2 international journals led by him. And one is the International Journal of Engineering Business Management, and another one is Enterprise Information System. So actually, both journals covers some aspects of healthcare technologies, including the scheduling optimizations, telemedicines, personal health data management, healthcare system integrations, and some smart home or smart hospital healthcare solutions as well. So we grouped some work done into this, what we call the healthcare, elderly care reserve related directions. So if you have similar research or work done, please feel free to do the submission to us. All right, so thank you for all your time, and that's the end for our sharing today.
Thank you, Professor Andrew, and thank you, Professor Jack. Now it is open for discussion. We have with us Professor Bala Lakhendra, Professor, who are the others? Let me check, from Department of Holistic Education. Whoever is there, they are open to ask and interact with our eminent speakers.
Very warm good morning, Professor Shrikant ji. Professor Shrikant Patnaik ji is from Bhubaneswar, and we are going to meet very soon in IIT Ropar. We are going to have an international conclave on Indian education system. So thank you, Professor Andrew and Dr. JW. Wonderful presentation. And really, this is high time when we should think about this system, this kind of thing, because in India, we are every day the number of our elderly citizens are increasing, and they need such kind of things. Very good. Whatever he talked very meaningful. He talked about radio frequency identification and its uses. He also talked about healthcare, then need of exercises, and he talked about different apps also. And then in later part, he was talking about AI healthcare and how robotics can be used for a better healthcare. And then Professor JW talked about the book, and he also talked about a journal. He was talking about the university students. They might be aware, friends from Singapore and other countries, they might be aware that in India, we are also having university students, and they are associated with different kind of activities. We are running national services scheme. We are running other activities, and they take care of old age people. And they sometimes they do adaptation of the villages. They go to the villages, they do a survey work, and they come to know that who are the needy. Even during Corona period, they have done a wonderful job, particularly the public health care. So may I request Dr. JW to please speak a few words about their education system. Do they have such kind of organizations, such kind of NGOs, those who are taking care of the old age people in Singapore? I hope I am clear.
Yeah, both the speaker are from Hong Kong. So
okay, Hong Kong. It's fine. Hong Kong. So yes, if they can talk something about Hong Kong, how their university system involving the students there. Although he talked about the apps and other things, and their participation of university students. So likewise, when we are having in India like NSS, National Service Scheme, and other NGOs. So do they have similar kind of thing, and how they work with the society? How they work with the old age people in Hong Kong, please?
Yes, and in Hong Kong, and this the elderly home actually one of the technology users. Okay, so to help take care of the elderly in the elderly home, and also sometimes they go back to the stay with the family, and so also the information they can share with these the doctors, nurse, and also the family members. They can exchange information and understand how the elderly are doing. So basically, they're very similar kind of technology that deployed at the home, and also this also at home is also there are some what we call yes, there's a
remote device.
Yes. There are some private organizations and NGOs and they are also a little bit funding they asked for government, and then they developed these similar technologies. Yes. Mm.
Yeah, because in Hong Kong, actually, one of the important policy is what we call the aging in place. Aging in place, what does it mean? As I mentioned, we don't want to add the burden to the centralized healthcare or hospital system, but try to upgrade, try to enable them to take care of themselves at home. For example, just like what Professor Yip mentioned, not just this proposed student card for the elderly in our university. Actually, we try to, we have two private companies. They are not making profits, but they are promoting, they are also provide the similar device for the elderly when they are sometimes alone at home. The most important case is that we need to keep knowing that they are alive, they are awake. It's very important. The worst case is that they fell down, lose consciousness. And it is very important to seize the chance to call the emergency and provide the helping hand to them. But most of the case, they are alone at home. So therefore, we in Hong Kong, we try our best to bring the technology, of course, cost effectively, to bring the technology to enabling their original home becomes a safe place for them to stay, although they are still living at home alone. But somehow, in the virtual way, we give them interactions, okay, in order to get them have the communications, talking, not feeling alone. It's the first important point. The second point is that we need to provide the timely support, emergency help to them. Sometimes they may not be able to ask for help, okay? Just like me, of course, I'm in danger, I can ask for help, but sometimes not in the case for the elderly. So we need to use some active technology to give them a helping hand to do the detections. So of course, it is a point of debate that is it talking about keep monitoring the elderly, but sometimes with that agreement, the technology is not talking about monitoring, but actually is safeguarding them in order to maintain the quality of their daily life. Yeah, I think it is the modern trend and also the deployment trend in Hong Kong nowadays.
Yeah, and it's especially the camera is quite popular. So we can build a camera at home, and then it's one of the most simple way, you know, that can help monitor the elderly, and because this is the family members would accept this, you know, this not much privacy issue. Just a camera at home. You know, sometimes you install it just for security purpose, right? So that's it depends on how the elderly health status is, right? Some need more monitoring, some less, and then some they're not willing, okay, to be monitored at all. So this matter of consensus among the family member, and also the recommendation from the healthcare professional. Okay.
Thank you. Let me supplement. This kind of problem is the European society is suffering maximum. And in their society, they have started using a card. For example, a young fellow will spend some time with the old people and he will get a credit in his card, social card, so that
Okay.
then when he will be older and other people will be there. So there is no monetary transaction. Rather, it is a time you are spending with the old people. So that kind of concept the European countries, they have started. So this is just to supplement what is happening across the globe.
So thank you so much, Professor Andrew and Dr. JW, for your really wonderful renditions. Wonderful. And we are extending you our invitation you please come to Varanasi, the holy place of India, and we will be doing some projects with you and on old age people, and how our students can help them, and how can we can adapt these kind of technology like student cards, where they can carry, yes, of course, no monetary benefit, but the social credits will be there, and they will be feeling happy to help the society. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Professor
Thank you.
Srikant, sir. Thank you.
Sir,
Thank you.
request for you, Professor Bala Lakendra. Welcome to this group. This group is doing, say, intellectually stimulating debate and what is happening across the globe. And Professor Francisco is the chair of this group. I welcome you to deliver what is happening and in which area you are contributing to the society. And I must briefly introduce Professor Bala Lakendra. He is a journalist, very powerful journalist of our government, as well as the most, say, established, esteemed university of India, that is, say, Banaras Hindu University, probably the first or second university of India. And he is leading the department of mass communication. I welcome you, sir, to this forum, and I would like to request you to deliver a talk on, say, whatever you are doing for the human rights, because you are very closely associated with this say, work of human right and economic system. So I welcome you and I request you to deliver the next month speech. So if you agree, then we can fix up the date.
Yeah, for sure, sir. Sure. Thank you for this invitation. And I assure you to be there, and I will deliver a lecture on human rights and how students are helping our old age people, or how they are helping government of India to grow and to achieve this target of developed Bharat, Viksit Bharat.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And also, we are planning to bring out a book out of all the lectures delivered by different eminent scientists, social scientists, and say, entrepreneur, as well as say, social worker. And I have also invited the publisher who is located in Delhi, Mr. Saurabh Sudhir, to join this group as well as to be present here. Are you there, Mr. Saurabh? Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
So, Mr. Saurabh
Good morning, everyone. Yeah.
Mr. Saurabh
Good
is
morning.
located Delhi.
Uh-huh.
So, I am planning with him to bring out a volume out of the lecture series delivered through this, say, UNESCO chair lecturer on economic system and human right. Thank you, Saurabh, for being here with us and
Thank you.
listen to our eminent speakers. So, Professor Francisco, we put you in trouble during the midnight. It is say 1 a.m. in
Sorry
Argentina.
about it.
So
Don't worry. It's very interesting. Very interesting. I told before, I'd like to make some paper or some to publish together with the chair, and we can go on this topic. It's very interesting. Very
thank
interesting
you.
to understand how
So,
to create a social instrument to allow this technology. To allow this technology. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Here it's night.
So
It's
before ending, I'll request Professor Ravi, if you are here, then you can speak a few words. Professor Ravi. Professor Ravi is a member of the Department of Holistic Education. He is placed in the university in Haryana, Himachal Pradesh. Professor Ravi. Some problem in his device, I think. Yeah, you can speak now.
Yeah, good morning to all of you. Am I audible?
Yes, very much.
Yes, sir, you are audible. Good morning.
Good morning to all of you. It is a very important discussion which Professor Patnaik has given us an opportunity to listen to international expert on IoT based and AI based healthcare system. Since it is very close to my heart because I'm teaching history of health one of uh, research. Yeah, I know Hong Kong and India both have suffered the British colonies. So this is very important for us. And yesterday only I was delivering lecture to my student that how this healthcare was ignored by the Britishers. Somehow when the plague and other things happened in India, so that time they started the preventive medicine system. But due to the lack of the staff, medical staff, it was not possible for them. The same situation is world is facing. And hospitals which we have, and country like America also. America has been also exposed during the corona, that how the medical facilities were completely a kind of a debacle. So in such a scenario, as we know that India, we have 75 plus 6 crore population in country, and 65 onwards or 60 onwards, we have roughly around 15 to 20 crore people. As we know that we have the UDI data with us. So in such a scenario, is it possible that we can go for mapping of all the oldest citizens, because AI is there, so it will be very helpful. The people who are lonely, it is not only the old age. There are the several lonely people. They need mental attention, and in the recent past, we have gone through the several cases of suicide is also taking place. That is also a mental health. Uh, AI can better take care of a mental health people rather than it is the physical health. Physical health is a definitely a problem, but health is a better one. Can we go for mapping in the first round of the 75 plus, then 65 plus, then the school going student, because they are under huge pressure. So what solution can be provided? Because in India, the healthcare in the rural India still is a big problem. How this NRHM, National Rural Health Mission of the Government of India, can be uh, associated with such kind of projects, and we can provide aid. As a social scientist, I can provide, Professor Bala can, and with the two professors from the Hong Kong, from Andrew and Dr. Joe, how we can our country. And
Over to Professor Andrew.
Yes, I completely agree. Yes, loneliness and elderly. Yes, is that something we should think of a way that can help them?
Professor Bala Lakhendra, your opinion.
Yes, this is really a very good idea. And country like India, I know that the Hong Kong, they have much more technological advancement. But in country like India, we are we are also doing good, we can say. But in terms of elderly people, in terms of old age people, really we have to do a lot. And whatever Sir Ravi was telling, particularly the mental health, and because India is a developing country, and when our these sons and daughters, they are leaving their parents at home and going in other metropolitan for a job, so at that point of time, really they are in great need. And this is
completely
how
agree.
we can help them with the help of these whatever Professor Andrew talked, with the help of apps, with the help of technology. And this is really high time when we should think about, because mental health is very important. And we can go for mapping, and we can take help from the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sport.
You are not audible, Professor Bala. You are not audible.
Okay. Yes, yes. So again, I'm telling that we are having a very good organization with Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, which is under the Government of India, and we are having good number of students. More than 40 lakhs students are associated with the National Services Scheme. So we can take help, and even we can start with a small project from Varanasi, from Uttar Pradesh, and then we can move to another university also, and that can be really a very good suggestion to Government of India. And this is how we can help our elderly people, because they are in a great need. They need mental health, and we have seen this story in Corona period, just 2 years back when there was Corona, and people were stuck to their homes. Elderly people, they were not able to come out from their houses. We helped them. We organized several meetings with them, although on mobile and this. So this is how we can go. And I will request Professor Andrew and their colleagues to please make a plan with India, with our university, and we can move ahead and we can help the elderly people. Really, it is going to be a very great job. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Thank you for all. My special thanks to Professor Andrew and Professor Jack. Invitation from all of us to you, to our institute, to our country. Whenever there is any opportunity, we will like to serve you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. It's our honor.
It's our
Yeah,
great
our
honor
honor.
to join
Yes,
it.
yes, yes.
Thanks a lot.
Very happy.
And
Thank you
from-
so much. Thank you so much.
Thank
you
you.
so
Good day. Good day.
Good day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank
very
you.
nice day, sir.
Thank you,
Bye, bye, bye.
everyone. Thank you, everyone. See you soon.
Take care, sir. Take care.
Yeah,
And
take
stay
care. Take
care.
care. Take care. Bye-bye.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.